Somewhere on this list is a tool smaller than your thumb that's pulled people back from a very bad night, and most guys walk right past it. Being ready was never about hauling a giant pack. It's about a handful of things that live in your pockets. Your truck, your bag, quietly waiting until the day everything goes sideways. I dug through the newest survival gear out right now, pulled the stuff that actually earns its spot, and every single link is sitting in the description below. Grab a coffee, let's get into it. Start here, because almost everything else on this list assumes you've already got one of these in your pocket. The Wave Plus is the multi-tool most guys end up settling on after they've bought 3 cheaper ones, and there's a reason for that. You get 18 tools folding out of one stainless body, pliers, wire cutters you can actually replace when they wear down, 2 knife blades, a saw, scissors, the works. The blades flip open from the outside, so you're not prying your thumbnail off every time you need to cut a zip tie. It runs you about $110, which feels steep until the day it saves you a 40-mile drive home for a tool you forgot. Buy once, carry forever. A multi-tool handles the small stuff. But when you actually need to baton through a wrist-thick branch or carve a fire feather at midnight, you want a real fixed blade in your hand, and the Garberg is Morakniv's toughest one. Full tang, meaning the steel runs the entire length of the handle, so you can hammer on the back of it without snapping anything. The Swedish stainless takes a brutal edge and holds it, and the spine is squared off specifically so you can throw sparks off a ferro rod with it. 4.3 inches of blade, a grippy handle that won't slip when your hands are wet and cold, and it lands around $90. This is the one knife a lot of bushcrafters say is the only knife you ever need. That last one was built for the woods, this one was built for everything else. The StrongArm is made in the USA for the military crowd, and it shows. Full tang, 4.8 inch blade, a rubberized diamond texture grip that locks into your palm, and a striking pommel on the end for breaking glass or cracking something open. The sheath is the sleeper feature. It snaps into MOLLE webbing, rides horizontal on a belt, or drops into a leg mount, so it carries however you need it to. Around $65 for a knife that genuinely shrugs off abuse. Quick one for you, drop a comment and tell me fixed blade guy or folder guy. I already know this is going to start a fight down there. Now we scale up. There are moments, clearing brush, processing firewood, hacking a path that doesn't exist yet, where a knife just isn't enough metal. The Doubledown is a folding machete, which is a sentence that shouldn't make sense and somehow does. It folds nearly in half, so it actually fits in a pack instead of slapping against your leg all day. Then locks open into a serious chopping tool with that signature B. O, S, S. Tech keeping the blade rock solid when it's deployed. It's around $90 and it lives in that weird, wonderful space between pocket knife and full machete. Faceless channels like this One Love gear that looks half folded and menacing, this is exactly that. Here's the thing nobody tells you about chopping. It's loud, it's slow, and it eats your energy when you have none to spare. Sometimes you just want a saw. This folding branch saw from Camillus tucks a row of aggressive teeth into a handle the size of a TV remote, then locks open to slice through limbs a hatchet would just bounce off. It's the quiet, efficient cousin of everything above it. No swinging, no missed strikes, just clean cuts. Sits around $30, weighs almost nothing, and it's the tool you'll be glad you packed at hour 2 of building a shelter. Cutting and sawing handle what's above ground. This handles everything below it. The Baha is a multi-purpose folding shovel, and multi-purpose is doing real work in that name. It digs, sure, but the head doubles as an axe, edge, a saw, a pry bar, even a bottle opener if it comes to that. It collapses down small enough to ride in a trunk or the bottom of a bug out bag, then extends into a full tool when you need to dig a cat hole, trench around a tent in the rain, or get a stuck truck unstuck. Around $50 for what's basically a toolbox folded into a shovel. A saw cuts, a hatchet splits, different jobs. When you've got a thick round of wood and you need to crack it into burnable pieces, nothing beats a proper chopping head with weight behind it. Gerber's pack hatchet keeps the head compact and the handle short so it slides into a pack instead of demanding its own loop, and the forward swept edge bites deep so you're not flailing. Runs about $45. Pair this with the saw from a minute ago and you've basically got a full firewood processing kit in 2 tools you can carry one-handed. Let's shrink it back down. Not every problem needs a blade. Half the daily survival stuff is prying, scraping, opening, and tightening. The CRKT Pry is a flat little EDC tool that handles exactly that without ever asking you to dull a good knife edge. Pop a paint can, lever, open a stuck lid, crack a bottle, turn a screw. It does the grunt work so your knife stays sharp for the jobs that actually matter. It's around $20 and disappears in a pocket or clips into a bag. Small, dumb, simple, and you'll reach for it 10 times more than you'd expect. Okay, by now you've collected a small pile of gear, and a pile of gear scattered loose in a bag is gear you can't find when the lights are off and your heart's pounding. The Viperade Organizer is a roll-up pouch with slots for knives, pens, flashlights, and multi-tools, so everything has a home and nothing rattles around. Think of it as the spine that holds your whole carry system together. It's about $30, and honestly, it's the unglamorous purchase that makes every other tool on this list twice as useful, because you can actually grab them fast. Organization is survival gear too. You've got the tools to build a shelter. Now you need to not freeze inside it. Lighters fail, matches get soaked, but a ferro rod throws a shower of 3,000-degree sparks, whether it's bone dry or just went swimming. The Zünden from überleben pairs a thick fire steel with a hardwood handle and a multi-tool striker, and it's rated for thousands of strikes. You'll lose it before you wear it out. It's around $18, which is almost nothing for the single most important survival skill there is. Scrape it against that squared spine on your Garberg, and you've got fire from two tools working together. Redundancy keeps you alive, so here's your fire backup, and it's a wild one. These aren't normal matches. The Zippo Typhoon matches burn for around 15 seconds each, and they don't care about wind or rain. You can dunk one underwater and it'll keep going. The whole kit seals up watertight, so your fire source stays bulletproof at the bottom of your pack. It's about $18. The ferro rod is your skill-based fire. This is your I'm exhausted, my hands are shaking, I just need flame right now fire. Carry both and weather stops being the thing that beats you. Before we move on from the small stuff, here's a tidy little insurance policy from Survive Outdoors Longer, a compact survival tool that crams the basics into something you'd forget you're even carrying. It's the kind of grab-and-go piece you toss in a jacket pocket and ignore until the one day you desperately need exactly what's inside it, around $20. Nobody plans to need a backup survival kit, which is precisely why the guys who carry one are the guys who walk out of the woods. Now the sun goes down, and everything changes. The Baton 4 is a thumb-sized flashlight that punches out 1,300 lumens that's brighter than full-size lights from a few years ago out of something the size of a lipstick. It charges in its own little case that holds extra runtime, so it tops off between uses and you're never caught dead. IPX8 waterproof tough metal body, and it just feels good in the hand. It's around $70. A light this bright isn't just for seeing, flash it at someone in the dark and it'll stop them in their tracks for a couple seconds, which is sometimes all you need. And what happens when your main light dies at the worst possible moment? You carry two. The MicroStream is a pencil-thin pen light that clips to a pocket or a hat brim and throws 250 lumens, way more than its size suggests. It charges over USB, takes drops, shrugs off rain, and weighs about an ounce. It's around $30. This is your always-on-you light, the one that lives in your pocket, so even if your bag's across camp, you're never standing in the dark. 2 is 1, 1 is none. That rule was basically written about flashlights. Both of those need a hand to hold them, and out in the field your hands are usually busy. That's the whole case for a headlamp. Splitting wood, gutting a fish, fixing a tarp in the rain at midnight, you need light that points wherever you look. The BioLite 425 sits flat against your forehead instead of bouncing around, pumps out 425 lumens, and runs for hours on a charge. It's around $60. Honestly, around the Gearify test bench, this is the light that gets grabbed most, because the second you go hands-free, you wonder how you ever manage without it. Picture it. The temperature's dropping, you're not getting out tonight, and you didn't pack a tent because who plans to get stranded? This is the thing that saves you. The Escape Bivvy is a lightweight sleeping bag-shaped shell that reflects most of your body heat back at you while still breathing, so you don't wake up soaked in your own condensation like the cheap foil blankets. It weighs about 8.5 ounces and stuffs down to nothing. Around $55. An unplanned night out is either a miserable story you barely survive or a mild inconvenience. This little sack is what decides which one you get. You can go weeks without food, 3 days without water, and you're done. And the water out there will make you sick long before it saves you. The Peak Series Solo screws straight onto a standard bottle and filters out bacteria, parasites, and microplastics as you drink, killing the bugs that cause the kind of stomach disaster you cannot afford in the wild. It weighs under 2 ounces, handles around 500 gallons before it's spent, and costs about $30. Drop it in a jacket pocket, and that sketchy stream stops being a gamble. Tell me in the comments, how many of you already keep one of these in your pack? The straw filter is your personal lifeline, but when you need to fill bottles for the whole group or pull water out of a shallow puddle a straw can't reach, you pump. MSR's field purifier forces water through a serious filter element and pushes out clean liters fast, and the build is the rugged, field-maintainable kind that's been on expeditions for decades. It's not cheap, figure around $110, but this is the tool that turns a muddy mess into drinkable water for more than just you. Layered water, a personal filter for you, a pump for everyone. And here's the third layer, the one that fits in a coin pocket. Filters get clogged, pumps break, but a strip of Aquatabs needs 0 moving parts, drop 1 in a liter of water, wait, and the chemical knocks out bacteria and viruses that a basic filter can actually miss. A whole pack is around $10 and weighs basically nothing. This is the redundancy that lives in your wallet, your med kit, your glove box. 3 ways to make water safe, because the one day all 3 would have helped is the one day you'll wish you'd carried them. Let's talk about the thing most survival loadouts skip until it's too late, bleeding. The MyFak is a compact, trauma-ready first aid kit that goes way past the cartoon bandage box. It's stocked for the real injuries that happen when you're swinging hatchets and scrambling over rocks miles from help. Cuts, sprains, burns, the serious stuff, it's around $110, and yeah, it's an investment, but think about what it's ensuring. All the gear above keeps you fed, warm, and moving. This is the one that keeps you alive long enough to use any of it. A like on this video genuinely helps the channel keep finding gear like this, so if it's earning its spot, smash it. When the grid goes dark, information becomes survival. The ER310 pulls in NOAA, weather alerts, AM, and FM, so you actually know if that storm is turning toward you. But the genius is the power. It charges off solar, off a hand crank, and off its internal battery, so it never needs a wall outlet. It's got a built-in Cree LED flashlight, an SOS beacon that flashes Morse code, and a USB port to top off your phone in a pinch, around $60. This is the box you want on the shelf for the blackout that lasts longer than anyone said it would. The radio sips power. Your phone, your headlamp, your GPS, those drink it. A rugged solar power bank from Goal Zero stores a serious charge and tops itself back up off the sun, so a multi-day stretch off-grid doesn't end with every device you own going dead. Water resistant, drop tough, and most of them have a built-in light too. Figure around $90. Sunlight is the one fuel source that never runs out and never needs a gas station, and turning it into a charged phone might be the difference between calling for help and not. But what about when there's no cell signal at all? No bars, no towers, nothing. This is the splurge that's worth every penny. The inReach Mini 2 talks to satellites, not cell networks. So you can send a two-way text or fire off an interactive SOS to a 24/7 rescue team from the absolute middle of nowhere. It runs about $400 plus a subscription, which makes it the most expensive thing here by a mile, but it's also the only item on this list that can directly summon a helicopter. For solo guys heading deep off-grid, it's not a gadget, it's a lifeline, weighs 3.5 ounces and clips right to a strap. The satellite messenger calls for help. A flare makes sure they can find you once they're close. Orion's signal flares burn bright and high, cutting through fog, tree cover, and dusk when a phone screen or a shout disappears into the noise. They're around $30 for a kit, and they're the old school answer that works even when every battery you own is dead. Smoke and fire have flagged down rescuers for a century for a reason. When a search team is sweeping the valley, you want to be impossible to miss. Here's the opposite of a flare. No batteries, no flame, no expiration date, just physics. A signal mirror catches the sun and throws a flash that can be seen for miles, and search pilots are trained to look for exactly that glint. It's flat, nearly weightless, and around $10. The beautiful part is it works forever. No charge to run out, no fuel to burn. On a clear day, this dumb little piece of reflective material can out-signal gear costing 100 times more. Every signaling layer you add is one more reason they spot you on the first pass instead of the third. Light gets you seen, sound gets you heard, and your voice gives out fast. A proper survival whistle screams far louder than a yell and costs you almost no energy, so you can keep signaling for hours after you'd have gone hoarse. 3 sharp blasts is the universal call for help, and the sound carries through brush and over wind that would swallow a shout. It's around $8 and clips right onto a zipper pull, so it's always there. Tiny, stupidly cheap, and one of the highest payoff things you can clip to a bag. Every battery you carry will eventually die. A compass never will. When the GPS goes dark and the trees all start looking the same, this needle is what keeps you walking in a straight line instead of in the panicked circle lost people always end up tracing. The Suunto is a precision baseplate compass with a sighting setup for taking an accurate bearing, and it works in pouring rain, dead cold, total dark, conditions that brick electronics, around $50. Knowing which way is genuinely north is a skill worth more than half the gadgets people stuff in a pack. Old school, unkillable, essential. The best gear is the gear you're wearing when everything goes wrong, because you can't forget it at home. A Paracord survival bracelet wraps several feet of genuine military spec cord around your wrist, and most of them pack a fire starter, a tiny compass, and a whistle right into the buckle. Unravel it and you've got cordage for a shelter, ridgeline, a snare, a tourniquet wrap, gear repairs. Paracord does 100 jobs. It's around $12. Think of it as a survival kit disguised as a watch you never take off. The stuff you wear beats the stuff you packed every single time. Survival isn't only weather and water. Sometimes the threat has 2 legs or 4. SABRE's Pepper Gel sprays a sticky stream instead of a cloud, so it shoots farther, won't blow back into your own face in the wind, and sticks to whatever it hits. It gives you distance and a way out without you ever having to get close. It's around $15, fits in a pocket or clips to a bag, and it's legal to carry across most of the country. The whole point of every tool on this list is buying yourself options. This one buys you the option to just leave a bad situation behind. And we'll close on the most underrated piece in the whole carry, the one nobody looks at twice. A tactical pen is a machined metal pen that writes like normal, clips into a shirt pocket, and goes everywhere a regular pen goes, including the places blades and sprays can't. But that hardened tip will break glass to get you out of a sinking car or a burning building, and in a pinch, it's a serious self-defense tool that just looks like office supplies, around $35. It's the perfect note to end on, because that's the soul of real survival gear. The stuff that looks like nothing until the one moment it's everything. That's the carry. 30 tools that don't ask for much, just a pocket, a bag, a corner of your truck, and quietly hand it all back the day everything goes wrong. Every link is waiting in the description below, and if even one of these earned a spot in your kit, that's a win. If this lineup was useful, hit subscribe so the next Gearify build lands right in your feed, and tell me down in the comments which one you're grabbing first. Stay ready out there. I'll see you on the next one.